Greg Ward Jr.
That's really well done. Sprint left, he pulls up, sees man coverage. Ward kind of feels it the same way. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Later in the second, Eagles trail in 26-14. Hurts, another one to Greg Ward.
Really good touch on the ball, allowing Greg Ward to kind of go body that reception and score.
People talk about, could Jalen Hurts throw? We saw a lot of it in this game, dropping back right here, but then you see the leg.
Decision making, though. Everyone's covered. He decides, there's my seam, let me go. And then this is what happens when you squat 600 pounds. I mean, Budda Baker's an all-pro safety, and he's physical enough, strong enough to grow right through him.
By the way, that tied the game. Huge spot. Fourth quarter game still tied. Kyler Murray getting it done. This catch by DeAndre Hopkins, I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah, this is when Hop got real physical. You know, they get him on that stop route on 3rd and down. And then this is the play that makes him different than everybody. Just watch the hands. Like, look at the hands. He's got to turn back. That ball is actually going to get hit as he's turning back. And then he's able to hold it with just one hand, and it never moves. That's his superpower.
Unbelievable. Eagles still with a last-second chance, and Hurts floating a Hail Mary. Incomplete in the end zone, though. Cardinals hang on to win 33-26. But what a performance by Jalen Hurts, continuing to make his case to be the starting quarterback in the future for the Eagles. And Doug Peterson saying today he will get the start against the Cowboys next week. By the way, Jalen from Texas, that's going to be quite the homecoming. Dan, what did you see from Hurts?
The biggest thing is situational calmness. You know, when he's got to have a moment to make a play, it seems like his heart rate literally goes lower than goes faster. You talk about 3rd and goal right before the half. I love the throw to Greg Ward, a little bit of touch. They got to get the ball out in space. The playmakers, he can do that. How about a big 4th down conversion on a 2-minute drive? Climb the pocket, the fumble, right? The fumble where he scoops it up and finds Dallas Goedert. Like, that situational calmness has been so impressive. The ball is coming out on time, and it's accurate. He's making plays when his feet, when it's needed, and then when the moment shows you got to make the play, he does it. And so, like, you can't sit here and say after 8 quarters, Jalen Hurts is the future. There's no question about it. But what you can say, or what I can say, is there's traits or skills that you go, that's what I want in a starting quarterback. There's plays where you go, that's what it should look like. And so he's done everything to continue to kick open the door of opportunity.
You know, when Jalen Hurts was drafted, everybody was confused first. And then something you heard a lot was, well, remember in 2012, Howie Roseman, the GM, he loved Russell Wilson, purportedly wanted to draft Russell Wilson. Maybe he's trying to get him. And when people said that, guys, I scoffed, okay? I did not see the parallel. This feels sacrilegious, but watching him yesterday, I saw shades of 2012 Russell Wilson. The game plan, frankly, was very similar to the Seahawks offense and how they ran it back then. The use of the read option, the way his legs opened up the rest of the run game, and also opportunities to throw the ball down the field, the poise that Dan alluded to on that 2-minute drill before the half. Now, look, I am not comparing Jalen Hurts to Russell Wilson. Bloggers do not put a headline that says ESPN analyst says Jalen Hurts is the next Russell Wilson. I am not saying that. But I am saying that there were moments yesterday that did remind me of Russell Wilson's 2012 season, and the door is wide open for him next year.
Uh-oh, Mina, put it on the bottom line. There we go. Hey, Adam, you had some reporting on Carson Wentz, and listen, that's sort of the elephant in the room with all this. His outlook in Philly, what more can you tell us about his perspective?
I don't know what about this is particularly surprising, right? He's playing for an organization that's had a rough year, on a team that's struggled. He's been benched. He's been replaced by a quarterback that they drafted in the 2nd round, which I don't think he was particularly thrilled about to begin with. And so the point here is that if he is the backup going into next year, he'd rather not be there. What is so hard to understand about that? I know some people saying, well, he shouldn't be saying this. He didn't say this publicly. This is talking to various people in and outside the organization. He didn't say anything. I'm sure if he was given his choice, he'd rather that not come out. But we're just trying to tell you exactly what's going on there. He's not exactly happy with the way the situation has gone. There's no secret in that. There's no shame in that. He's looking to play. He wants to play, and yes, he could have and should have played better, and Jalen Hurts has an opening, and as Mina pointed out, he's running with it right now. But again, what about this is surprising? Nothing.
It's a lot that's surprising, Shefty. I disagree with that. You talking about $100 million quarterback. You're talking about a guy that has shown flashes that he could potentially be a top 5 quarterback in this league. And now we're kind of getting a glimmer into how Carson Wentz is handling his first public adversity. And it hadn't all been handled the right way. And I get it. Like, you're supposed to be mad. You're supposed to be upset. But you're also supposed to play better when a team invests that in you. Now, here's the bottom line. Like, the league works this way. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, this is hard truths. Carson Wentz is going to go into the offseason with a leg up because of how much money the Philadelphia Eagles owe him. But but what Jalen Hurts has done is legitimize that this is about to be a quarterback battle. And then those decisions will be made once that's shown in camp and in the offseason. And another thing, like me and Dan was talking about it on the call earlier, like, how will these players respond? Because quarterbacks work out with their receivers in the offseason.
Yeah.
Like, will some guys go to Carson and some guys go work out with Jalen? Or will Jalen and Carson work out together? All of these things are going to play into the decision making, but also it's going to open up to these other players. Who is Carson Wentz when the moment of adversity hits? And that's the thing that I've been struggling with about how he's responded to this in certain situations. So it's going to be a quarterback competition because of the money, but it's definitely an open quarterback competition.
I agree with a lot of the things that you said. 2 things, though. One, I don't think Carson Wentz is in Philly next year. I know the money and all that. I just don't see him being in Philadelphia. You can have a competitive quarterback room. You cannot have a combative one. And there's no way that Carson is going to sit there after everything has transpired, and then Jalen Hurts, if he plays well over the next 2 games, is going to go, I should be the guy. That would be a combative situation. I'm playing the game of Carson Wentz will be moved on, right? I think this is a tremendous opportunity for him to look at himself and go, all right, where do I need to get better? Because if you watch Jalen Hurts, he's great with leadership. He's great with organizing. He's great with the intangible things. Learn from that and break the narrative when you go to a different team.
Yeah, one thing that people forget about Jalen Hurts and the leadership, they talk about Alabama. He went to Oklahoma in a very short period of time, won over a team that just had Kyler Murray as their quarterback and wasn't totally sold on him. Won over their team, led him back to the college football playoff, and they couldn't have been more galvanized around him. It's another Monday, so you know what that means. It's time for the best segment in all of television, Big Man Ballin'.